Derby County are crying out for new midfielders. And with the potential upcoming signing of Ben Osborne to that midfield role, there is another signing which could be in the offing for Derby County. Another player linked from AZ Alkmaar. It's a midfielder this time who goes by the name of Kenzo Gouldmijn. Now, his second name translates to Gouldmijn, so we're just going to call him that throughout the course of this video, because otherwise I'm just going to butcher it all day. But Kenzo is a player who could facilitate those midfield roles. He's a player who again is linked by AZ Alkmaar, another player along with Matt Ryan who is contracted to that Dutch club. Now, shall we take a look into Kenzo and his career? So here we have the initial link. It's coming from AZ Alerts yet again, the same as back with Matt Ryan when he was linked to the club, and is potentially still a little bit linked. Obviously, we still haven't fulfilled that goalkeeper role, and this link suggests that Derby County are interested, along with a couple of other Dutch clubs, in taking the midfielder Kenzo Gouldmijn on loan. Now, it translates as Gouldmijn, which I'll show you in this next slide. Now, we're apparently after this midfielder. He's 22 years of age. And he's been out on loan this season with Excelsior. He was relegated from the Eredivisie, and he used to play at Sparta Rotterdam. We'll obviously take more of an in-depth look into him now. This is the midfielder. This is a player who could potentially be seen lining up for Derby County in that midfield role. Now, if we do just move further across, he's 22 years of age, born on the 18th of December 2001. It might be 2002 actually, at 22. Hey ho. AZ Alkmaar is contracted until 2026. He's just been on a loan at Excelsior for the season, and he's had a fairly decent career. Now, if we do look into his career, he's obviously had 3 clubs at this point: AZ Alkmaar, Sparta Rotterdam, and Excelsior, all 3 Dutch clubs. So obviously coming across to England, he'd need a bit of a transition period, getting up to speed with the English game. But obviously we know there's so many players who want to come from abroad. If you have not done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below or in this top corner to stay tuned for all of my latest Derby County, EFL, Championship and League One content that's going to be heading your way throughout this Championship and League One season. We'll try and keep up to date with what's going on with England as well. So make sure you smash that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and I'll catch you in the next part of this video. Play in the English divisions. It's obviously a massive, massive thing for those players to try and get themselves into the Premier League, and Derby County now are just one step away from that. So within that period, he's made 236 appearances, 17,057 minutes. It all includes youth games as well, because they're all counted on Transfer Market. 18 goals, 22 assists, and 23 yellow cards. Now, if we do look at his career as a whole, as you can see, 84 appearances for AZ Alkmaar's under-21s, 22 appearances for the under-17s, 15 for the under-19s. In that, he scored 11 goals, 14 assists for AZ Alkmaar's youth academy. He's then gone on to make 12 appearances for Sparta Rotterdam, 83 appearances with 7 goals and 7 assists for Excelsior, and 20 appearances for AZ Alkmaar's main team. Now, let's take a look into his position. Now, as you can see, a very, very versatile player. Another player who certainly fits that mould of Paul Warne with the versatility, being able to play anywhere on the pitch, and it's absolutely massive to have those sorts of players. As you can see, he can play on the left, he can play on the right, he can play holding midfield, he can play in the 10, he can also play up front. Although he's only done it once and the same at centre-back, he is still capable of playing those roles, which for me is absolutely massive, because obviously, I think in the Championship you can only have a 25-man squad. Obviously, you do have like the under-21s that aren't registered. I don't think your goalkeepers are registered. But having players who can play in multiple different positions, for me, is absolutely massive. Now, if we do look at the depth chart, obviously we know where he fits in with Tyrese, Fornah and Liam Thompson. Is probably where he'd fit mainly, and I think he could be a massive, massive addition to the club, a massive addition to that midfield. Obviously, as I am recording this on the 28th of June, we're still awaiting the transfer news of Jerry Yates and Ben Osborne to break officially from the club, but I am led to believe those deals will be completed, given there isn't any 11th hour snags. So what do we know about this deal? Now, I get the impression it'll probably be a loan deal. I believe AZ may want to keep him, but there's obviously the option for a permanent transfer. That may be a little bit more expensive. Obviously, there is interest from other clubs back in Holland, which may have a better option of bringing him to the club. It's obviously one of those deals where they might be able to offer him a more comfortable living environment and things like that, especially if it's just a loan spell. If we're able to get him on a permanent deal, I think it puts us in pole position, because it puts him in a really good place to find himself an opportunity to get into the Premier League. Now, is he an upgrade on the players we have in our current midfield? I personally think he would definitely offer something to our midfield. Is he better? I can't say for sure. I haven't seen enough game footage of him, and that's something which I'll have to look into when he does sign, so that I can give a better opinion on him. Now, obviously, Derby County getting closer and closer to returning for pre-season. I think Dom Dietrich on Twitter suggested that they're back on Monday, which was the 1st of July. So that sort of links in with what I've said previously. Teams are normally in on the 1st of July. So for me, I think this could be a really, really good deal for the club. Now, signing Kenzo wouldn't solve all our problems, but it would certainly add a bit more depth into our midfield. With the potential signing of Ben Osborne being linked as well, there's 4 players who you could potentially have in your midfield, and there's obviously room for more in that midfield, in my opinion. Obviously, I'm not quite sure what the feeling is around Tyrese Fornah within the club. That's a really interesting one, which I'd love to find out, because I do believe Tyrese Fornah has something to offer. He's just not quite found his rhythm, found his role with us over the last season, whether that be through injury or problems behind the scenes. I don't entirely know. Obviously, we know he had that injury around Christmas time, his back injury where he was out for a little bit. And Liam Thompson got back into the team and was performing really well. So it's one of those where signing someone like Kenzo definitely would put a spanner in the works with someone like Tyrese Fornah. Wouldn't surprise me to see Fornah go out on loan next season, whether that be to a League One club or going abroad. I could definitely see that happen. So for me, there's a lot to talk about with this deal. I think Kenzo could offer something brilliant for the club, but it's really sort of touch and go on where he will fit in. Now, I think I'm going to end up posting this video on Monday. So there's obviously videos over the weekend about League One and the Championship. There were videos on Friday about Jerry Yates and obviously Ben Osborne the day before, as those deals are getting closer and closer as I'm recording this video on Friday. So make sure, if you have not done so already, go and check all that out. Go and check out my Q&A from last night as well. That will tell you everything you need to know about this upcoming season and address some comments which some people have made. So if you have not done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, turn on that notification bell, hit the like button, and I'll catch you in my next video. Make sure to go and find me on TikTok, pictured here, and Twitter, pictured here. These are the places where I'll keep you all up to date with all my upcoming videos and my thoughts and feelings around the Formula 1 and football weekend.